again. This time to the Chargers by a score of 37-21. And the Giants now drop to 4-9. And really no surprise here. Mike Glennon was the quarterback. He was able to play after sustaining a concussion in the Miami Dolphin game. And again, this is a very misleading score. 37-21, it's like, all right, like 16-point game, which is still not good, but this was a 37-7 game. Giants got 2 late touchdowns that really don't really mean anything. Yardage, Chargers 423, Giants 316. Third down efficiency, good for both teams, but Chargers did it a lot when it counted, 7 for 13. And really, Justin Herbert looked just spectacular. And this is someone who I was really hoping the Giants would get in 2019, but he went back to Oregon. And who knows what could have happened for many reasons. Maybe the Giants wouldn't have drafted him, or if they did, maybe it wouldn't have worked out. But Justin Herbert, like, you just watch him, and this is already, like, in my mind, a top – maybe not quite top 5, but pretty not that far away. If you told me that Justin Herbert was a surefire top 5 quarterback within the next couple of years, I would not be surprised at all. Guy has all the tools, and no Keenan Allen. He tested positive for COVID, so Keenan Allen wasn't in the lineup for the Chargers, and it didn't matter at all. And again, another big stat. I was incorrect last week. I said that the Giants have been outscored 45-0 in the final 2 minutes of the first half. It had actually been 52-0. And after this game, it's 59-0. Just absurd. Totally absurd that that's even possible. And I don't know. I mean, through 13 games. I mean, they're giving up. And it's funny. I was thinking, well, that must mean that they've been giving up points in almost every game at the end of the half. And that's true. And it's funny. One that came to mind where they didn't was a few weeks ago against the Eagles, where the Eagles basically should have definitely scored, and just really weird play calling, and they ended up getting intercepted at the very end. And if Jalen Hurts had been smart about it, like, they're at least getting a field goal there. I mean, at the very least. So just really poor in that sense. And, the Giants really, they had one meaningful big play. That was, believe it or not, a 60-yard play to Kyle Rudolph, which then led to a touchdown pass to Eli Penny. So, yeah, the Giants, like, they don't get wide receiver touchdowns. That's just not a thing. Like, today the touchdowns, Penny, Saquon Barkley, and then the third touchdown was a rushing touchdown by Mike Glennon. So, Glennon ends up going 17 for 36, throws 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception at the basic last play of the game, off of Sterling Shepard's hands into the defender's arms. And yeah, so the Giants, it's funny, the way that the Giants play, first quarters are always, and this would make sense in general, but specifically the way the Giants play, they're usually close. This was like 7-7 at the first quarter. And then from then on, they just get blasted. So in this game, this is, again, where, keep in mind, I'm rooting against the Giants. So it's not that I mind it from, like, the sense of, like, I like when the Giants make these boneheaded coaching mistakes. But, like, if I were rooting for them, it'd be like, what in the fuck are you doing? So the Giants were running with ease against the Chargers. And this is a poor run. This is a team that does not stop the run. Similar to the Raiders. When Devontae Booker did well against the Raiders, another AFC West team, the Chargers, not very good at defending the run. And, Saquon Barkley, this was a pretty good game for him. And, again, part of that is the matchup. But still, like, he was churning out more like 4 and 5 yard gains, and credit to be had there. I didn't think he looked particularly good. Like, I don't really see that Saquon Barkley rookie year explosion, but this is a situation where Barkley gets a 7-yard run, Devontae Booker gets an 8-yard run. So you have a situation where it's 3rd and 2 at the 50, and they throw an incomplete pass to Kenny Golladay. So 4th and 2 at the 50, and they punt. And I shouldn't be surprised by this, but they punt, and they don't even line up and maybe decide, okay, let's line up. Maybe we'll draw them offside. Like, they just simply gave up. Like, yep, we're not going to do anything. So they punt. And then I guess in fairness, the the Giants would basically the defense really only in this situation, they were able to stop Justin Herbert. It was a 15-yard play to Mike Williams. Then, they basically stopped him from there. But then the Giants had a 3-and-out. And then the fireworks begin for the Chargers. Really just very easy drive, 9 plays, 60 yards, capped off with an Austin Eckler 1-yard rushing touchdown. But give the Giants credit, they would bounce right back and tie the game. And like I said, the big play was a 3rd and 10 at their own 35 and a 60-yard completion to Kyle Rudolph from Mike Glennon. And then 2 plays later, a 3-yard touchdown pass, Glennon to Penny, ties it up. But like the Giants normally do, and I can't remember when this happened, but Leonard Williams did leave this game and did not return with an elbow injury. So that is something to keep to monitor, and I'm curious to see where that goes. Obviously, Leonard Williams, it's been a step back from last season, but there's no doubt like the importance that he has to this defense. So if he's going to be out, I didn't get the sense that it was overly serious. He did make his way back from the locker room to the sidelines, so I didn't hear about how it's looking, but that's a promising sign, I suppose. But the Giant defense responds by giving up a touchdown of their own, and they do this too much, where the few times the offense does anything, that's when the defense fucks up. So now it is, interestingly enough, excuse me. It is yes, it is. Another 9-play, 60-yard drive. Yeah. So in this one, very similar. They're moving down the field very easily. Eckler with a 17-yard run. Parham, 15-yard catch. And then it's capped off by a 12-yard touchdown from Justin Herbert to Josh Palmer. And so that makes it 14-7 right there. Then the Giants go 3-and-out. And then the Chargers add a field goal. And the Giants, I guess, they held them. It was 4th and 1 at the 5. And the Chargers were going to go for it. But then there was a false start, and so they settled for 3, and that increased their lead to 17-7. Another 3-and-out for the Giants. And the teams were trading punts back and forth. But of course, and here's the crazy thing. The Giants at one point had the ball at the Charger. Okay, keep this in mind. They had the ball at the Charger 41. At the 41, great field position, down by 10 with 140 left in the half. And they're the ones that gave up the touchdown. It's insane. So they go 3-and-out. It was incomplete to Shepard, -2 yards to Barkley, and then incomplete to Devontae Booker. And then Riley Dixon was just a terrible punt. An 18-yard punt by Riley Dixon. So that's the thing, too. And that's what started the drive where the Chargers made it 14-7 off the Giant touchdown. Graham Gano kicks it out of bounds. So the special teams, which this is supposed to be Joe Judge's thing, the special teams has not been good. I'm sorry, it's not been good at all. And in this game, they had a fake punt, and Riley Dixon just airmails the ball. And I understand he's at a quarterback, and quite frankly, he kind of looked like Mike Glennon, but still. So then the Chargers, they get the ball back with 39 seconds at their own 25. So in their mind, it's like, all right, let's see what we can do. If the first 2 plays are unsuccessful, then we'll just go to the half up 10. Nope, the Giants would not let that happen. 17-yard completion to Guyton. Then Ojulari sacks Herbert. It was a 1-yard loss, sack. And the Chargers call a timeout with 29 seconds left. Then it's incomplete to Eckler. So here it is, 3rd and 11 with under 30 seconds left at their own 41. And what do you know? Justin Herbert makes a really great play. They may have gotten away with a hold. They might have. But Herbert makes an unbelievable play. 59-yard bomb touchdown to Jalen Guyton. This was just really something spectacular. And so that makes it 24-7 Chargers, just like that. So there's your end of the half where the Giants have the ball at the Charger 41. And the Chargers are the team that ends up scoring a touchdown. Not a defensive touchdown, an offensive touchdown. Just embarrassing. The Chargers start the second half with a field goal. And another one of the situations where they got deep, but they settled for 3. They got as close as to the 5. And Dustin Hopkins hits another short field goal, makes it 27-7. Then you have the drive where they go for the fake punt. Riley Dixon to Keon Crossan, incomplete, gives the Chargers, really good field position, and the Chargers, they didn't do much with it, but they get a field goal, makes it 30-7. Then it would be a sack fumble, Mike Glennon. Sack fumble, and at this point, it was when this happened, it was a 4th and 9 at midfield. So really, it didn't matter that much. Once he got sacked, it was a turnover on downs, but he does fumble, and the Chargers recover. And then the Chargers get their last touchdown. The drive started at the end of the 3rd, but it goes into the 4th, and it would be another touchdown pass by Justin Herbert. This time to Jared Cook, 1-yard touchdown, makes it 37-7. And then I guess give the Giants credit for not giving up. They would get a touchdown. Glennon to Saquon Barkley, 18-yard touchdown. Chargers go 3-and-out. Giants get another and keep in mind there was a failed 2-point conversion on the first one. And then on the second touchdown, it would be a 7-yard rushing touchdown for Mike Glennon. And then the 2-point conversion was successful. Eli Penny runs it in. So, again, a game that was 37-7 becomes 37-21. And as a matter of fact, the Giants actually would recover the onside kick. But with about 50 seconds left, Glennon throws to Shepard off his hands, intercepted by Neiman, and that's your ball game. So the Chargers win at 37-21. Like I said, Giants shot up to 4-9. And good news, and news that I care about, the Giants lose, and also the Bears lose to the Packers. 2 expected results that work in the Giants' favor. So right now, if the season ended today, the Bear pick, which goes to the Giants, would be number 5, and the Giants' own pick is number 6. So, and that's about as good as it's going to get. If you told me that that's where it ended up, 5 and 6, I'd absolutely take that, because you're not going to pass the Lions. You're not going to pass the Texans. You're not going to pass the Jaguars. And I don't think the Jets, probably not. The Jets are 3-10. The Giants and Bears are 4-9 and play each other. So there's a win guaranteed out of that. And I will almost definitely be rooting for the Bears, like almost 100%, unless things got really weird between now and then. But next week, as far as that's concerned, Giants home against the Cowboys. It's a game the Giants should lose. Daniel Jones, he went home tonight to New Jersey for further evaluation. So we'll see what happens with his neck injury. I have a feeling this could go a long way in determining, all right, he's good to go, or all right, like we're shutting him down. I think we'll learn a lot from this and where it goes from here. So the Giants now face their NFC East rival Cowboys, who are coming off a pretty impressive win at Washington. The Cowboys are on their way to winning the NFC East. The Giants got destroyed by Dallas at Dallas, and I'd expect them to lose this one. There's no reason to think otherwise. The Giants have played some pretty good ball at home, so I do think they'll be competitive, but I think that Dallas will ultimately be too much. And then as well, the Bears are playing the Vikings on Monday Night Football at Chicago. So that, I'll certainly be rooting for Minnesota. That one will be a little bit tougher. Whereas I think the Giants should lose to Dallas. Minnesota-Chicago should be a pretty close game. But hopefully the Vikings can win, which would then drop both teams to 4-10. But either way, it's another Sunday, another Giant loss. It shouldn't be a surprise at this juncture.